Good morning, pregame crew. I'm trying to log on early so I don't have to say 6:22 on 9:22:22. Lots of two-twos. Good morning. How are y'all? Audio visual check, please. You're at the pregame show. So every morning I go over indices, commodities, crypto, movers and shakers of the day. I start around 6:30 down here in the far right corner. When it says 6:30 a.m., of course that's mountain time, and it's currently 8:21 a.m. Eastern. If you want to fast forward to that, if you're tuning in later in the day, I don't blame you. But between now and then, I am going to go over a couple chart requests and I will keep it technically focused. My goal, I don't think I've ever articulated this, but my goal is to keep our conversation 96-97% technicals, and maybe 1% my opinion, and maybe 2% of my analogies and soapboxing and having a little fun. But I understand time is our most precious asset, and I appreciate you tuning in, and my goal is to use your time efficiently. So I hope that's what you're here for, because if so, we're both on the same page. So good morning, all your sweet Carlos. Thanks, Night Truck, my friends. Hey, Night Truck, Greg, Andre, Jason, Lori, RJ. You like the title? I'm not hungover, but I think the market is after the FOMC obliterated it yesterday. Hey, Casey, Carlos, ER. I'll try to go over ADA. No, I will. Try is just a word that I never allowed my children to use. I told them, try is not a strategy. I was such a fun mother. Hey, Sam. Hey, Bennett, Eli, Paul, Scott, Andre, Josh. Good morning. Whitney, thank you for your message. I'm so glad you crushed it yesterday. Congratulations. Hey, Mary. You're trying to gather yourself today. I hope I came through loud and clear yesterday in saying it, unless you are a prop trader, proprietary trader, and you have to trade, yesterday was not the day to trade, especially if you're inconsistently profitable. It's just a day for it to wipe you out. And I hope the majority of you listening did paper trading yesterday. And if so, you're waking up a little refreshed this morning and ready to tackle whatever the market gives us. Audio's good? Oh, okay. Good. Thanks, Roger. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Chuck Dell, Ram, Jason, Matthew, Basque, Whitney, no, you rock. And just a note, I of course suffer from that human condition. So when y'all thank me for doing a particular technical analysis and it helps you make money, of course my ego is stroked a little bit. But the bottom line is you are the trader pushing the buttons. So if you use that data and you turn it into a profitable trade, the execution of the trade is 90% of trading. 10% is the technical analysis and identifying the location of a trade. So you're still doing the bulk of the work. So kudos to you. Hey, Bobo. Hey, Spin. All right, let's go look at ADA. Okay, we have a daily inside bar. So I know I haven't looked at this chart at all. I know when I go on lower time frames, I'm most likely going to see some messy price action due to the large range of yesterday. So I will go over ADA, but I do want to say, watch for false signals and trends on a lot of our charts. If we have ranges that look like this, these huge ranges like yesterday, and that's going to be on a ton of charts, and we're opening up within that range, especially to the middle part of that range, there's a high likelihood we could stay inside that today. And when we are playing bangarang inside an inside bar, we know we can get false signals as bulls and pairs probe liquidity and try to find what's above, how do I get through that resistance overhead, or how do I break that support below. So, I'm getting to it, I promise. That's a nice bounce. This is the high, of the reaction. Come on, Fibs, wake up. You can do it. Yeah, we've bounced, I'm just trying to guess, 85%. We've retraced approximately 85% of the move yesterday. Odds favor. So probability-wise, we're looking for a 4-hour lower high compared to 4643. that just the odds favor. It doesn't mean ADA bulls can't take it out, but think about this push. This is what, 12 hours, and look at this volume, how it died off. So beautiful move, good job bulls. However, I would have a higher risk, a higher reward and higher probability trade setup to start looking short in this area versus going long. And a conservative bull is bottom fishing. Let me get some water. And conservative bulls are looking for a 4-hour higher low. I like this little squeeze going on here. Daily, again, inside bar, 4239 and 4254. Bulls are at least pleased they held that level. However, we are in a daily downtrend, and that was that key weekly support to hold. So 4256, 4239, 4254. We now have a weekly triple bottom. Now, ER, what that means is we just weakened the support. And if you don't trade crypto, please don't tune out when I'm going over crypto charts, because I promise you these principles and these nuances and concepts can be applied to any chart, whether you trade it or not. So this is the triple bottom here on the weekly for ADA. Now you've weakened that support. Every time you go tap that level, you're depleting supply below, and it weakens. So the second time you tap on a support, it's like concrete. It gets stronger. Like, okay, we know there's buyers there. Tap, tap, we know there's buyers there. But every time you go back, you're wearing out those buyers. How many dollars do they have to continue to defend that 425 level, 0.425? They'll be like, wait, I can probably get it for 40 cents. I'm going to step away from the bid and let it come down a little lower. So just remember, a triple bottom is good, but a fourth attempt, it could fall through. Turn off my fan. It's 56 degrees here, and I'm loving this cooler weather. And there's no smoke. That's so nice. Let me go back up and see if there's any other ticker requests, because I lost track of this. Hey, amigos. You're welcome, Long Island guy. It's my pleasure. As crypto bottom, Hunter, if anyone answers that question definitively for you, don't ever listen to them ever again, okay? If they say, yes, it has bottomed, especially when you're close to the bottom, it's just it's very reckless to claim bottoms and tops. So we have 17567 and 18153. We have a monthly double bottom right now on Bitcoin. This is still, where's my rotated rectangle? This is still a monthly bear flag. So don't get it twisted. A double bottom is wonderful. And we bounced wonderfully in crypto last night, especially Bitcoin. We almost made it to the golden pocket, meaning we retraced 65% of the move from the high of FOMC to the low of FOMC. So just like ADA, we've made enough room for a 4-hour higher low. ADA is closer to up here with its retrace, a little bit more impressive. However, we've made enough room for a 4-hour higher low on Bitcoin. So for me, I'm kind of using Bitcoin as a potential glimmer of hope for market bulls today. This is a high risk asset, and it had a really nice bounce. So if Bitcoin can bounce like this, why couldn't ES bounce like this? And it hasn't. The indices have not. UPST. Oh, hey, Martin, welcome. 3720 is a major target for ES today. So that UPST short float is fun information, but until I start seeing the squeeze through volume, then the short float information for me, look at this. Let's dissect. I'll get started in 1 minute. Let's dissect what this means. If you went short up here, 401, look at those gains. I can't even do that math. Is that like 98%? Close, like 95% drop. Why in the world would you cover unless the wife needs new shoes? There's no reason to cover. Your short is working. So when the bears say, okay, that's enough, I'll take my money and run, then yeah, you could have a little pop. But look how short-lived that pop would be. most likely with all this baggage. Look at this baggage. There's a Louis Vuitton. There's a Dooney and Burke. There's the Coach. Y'all haven't heard Dooney and Burke in a while. There's a Kate Spade. Look at all this baggage overhead. I promise you we have someone who bought that top at 161. There was a buyer at 163.20, and unfortunately there was a buyer at 401.49. Hopefully they're already out, but every time you go up to a level of a prior bag holder, they're ready to offload it to you, and that's selling pressure overhead. Another way to think of it is look at these EMAs. Those are like tree branches overhead. So when you go try to get through that tree and climb to the top of it, you're going to get hit in the head. Tree branch, tree branch, tree branch. And if you use 12 and 26, that's another one, another one, another one. So just think about all of those things. Again, I think I may have soapboxed, but I promise I just use these individual chart one-offs to give you an example that is applicable to all charts and all scenarios. 23.28 is resistance, 22.49 is support. Y'all ready? I know y'all have a lot of chart requests. Here's the dealio. We have 3 live shows every day for our community members only. And then 2 days a week, we have another Zoom call, Q&A, where you can ask any question with the chart guys and gals, and we'll answer it for you. So I feel guilty most mornings when I shut off this pregame show because I see how many chart requests I didn't answer. But remember, if you really want your chart request answered, you can become a TCG member and we'll answer it almost every darn time. And even if it's not live, you can type it in the chat room. Hey, can you let me know about chart ABC? And we will do the technical analysis. So good morning. It's 8:32. Let's get started. This is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori. I'm part of the Chart Guys community, and we teach technical analysis. Like we are rabid. That's probably not the best word. We freaking love TA, and it, I think, oozes out of our pores. At least I know it does for me. So 23.28, again, resistance in UPST. Did I say that? Support 22.67. I think I did. So Dixie. So Japan had a coordinated attack on the dollar last night. Japan top Forex diplomat, their currency, Kanda. Every time I read this at 3:30 this morning, I was reading it Kanda. He kind of intervened on the market. First intervention to stop JPY decline against the since 1998. And then look at all the articles. They're buying the yen for dollars. So their goal is to stop the decline of the yen, and they're doing that through buying of the dollar. Look what they did. And again, I am not a currency expert, so I am not explaining this fully because that's not my ballywhack. I stay in my lane. If you need to know something about a chart, I'm your girl. If you want to know something about foreign currency and how it works relative to the dollar, I'm not your girl, but I can do analysis on this chart. I actually called the blow off top. If you're a TCG member, I nailed it to the minute right here on that FOMC reaction. And we have no resistance overhead that's even nearby, but you could just tell by the volume and the amount of it, the speed of ascent that was possibly a blow off top. And I can show you. Right here, yesterday at 12:02. So here, y'all see that? Noon. So 2 minutes after the reaction, we had a blow off top, and then we had a major pullback, and it was a great opportunity to enter gold long or enter dollar short if you trade futures or Forex. And then we double top last night, and then we got the Japan news, and down she went. This is good for equities if the dollar can just continue to take its little breather here. We have enough room for hourly high or low compared to 110.46. And then we have resistance up at, let me give you a 15-minute resistance, 111.15 and 111.17. And we've already lost our 15-minute uptrend. But again, an hourly high or low is the more likely scenario. I have notes on another screen that you can't see. I just use these to keep myself organized, and then I copy and paste these for TCG members when I'm done, just in case they want to have the levels, they can slice and dice it. And also, if you're interested in my chart setup, what the heck are these yellow candles? You can click on the link below in the video description to receive a PDF explanation as to what all these colors mean. Now, back to business, ES. And again, I lose track of the chat as well. I believe Jason's in the chat this morning. So if you have questions about TCG or technical questions, Jason can answer them for you. And when I'm done, I'll try to catch back up with chat. But I can't rip through 25 charts in 25 minutes and read chat. I think I'm pretty good at all this stuff. I'm kind of good, but I'm not that good. So we've been talking about this 12-hour potential megaphone since last week. So now I have zoomed out to the daily. This is still a valid trend line to the downside. It is not a valid trend line to, well, I guess it has 4 touches essentially. You typically want to have that actual next pivot touch, and we may get it, who knows? But we're definitely closer down here to 37.23 than we are up here closer to 41.75. So what market bulls want to see is for this to hold today. So I don't think there were any big surprises to my knowledge with Powell's statements yesterday. But even if there weren't surprises and things are priced in, he talked about the future, and he doesn't see them letting off the gas on these 0.75 rate hikes. So that was just a small, tiny change in what he said before. So the probabilities increased yesterday for the next FOMC meeting for it to be, instead of a half basis point hike, to be another 0.75 hike. So that changed. And just overall, the economy is weak. The job market, I heard this morning, 2 jobs for every willing laborer. So that's just, we have a lot of terrible things out there. Eggs are up 30%. CPI is up over 8%. So they've got to stave off inflation with the tools that they have available to them. But thank God I'm not an economist and I don't have to deal with all that crap. But this is not a bullish chart, folks. This is a daily downtrend. So my theme and name of the game today is 5 and 15 minute overbought conditions are decent areas to scout shorts. Reverse backburners. What's a reverse backburner? After this major move to the downside, look at the best short opportunity you got. It was at 2:30 this morning. I was actually awake and I should have taken it. I wasn't looking at this chart at that time. But first 15-minute overbought conditions after a large drop can provide a wonderful top fishing area. This is applicable to all charts, not just the indices and futures. So on SPY, QQQ. So my Queen of the Mountain trades, I will go ahead and skip to the end right now. 6 of the 9 are reverse backburner trade setups, waiting for that first 15-minute overbought to potentially short. And it doesn't mean you enter blindly. You have to wait for price action to confirm on lower term time frames like 2-minute. But that is the number 1 setup for today. And one more thing, just to show you the value, and I could show you 100 posts from yesterday that were really valuable. Come on, Lori. $150 ES hourly overbought to oversold in 1 hourly candle. Oh no, that's not the one I wanted. I posted when ES was overbought on the hourly. This was at 12:46 yesterday. Y'all, this is all time stamped. I'm not trying to like recreate history here. This is just facts. I posted that at 12:46 and this was at 12:45, and that marked the top of the market. So look at this hourly 15-minute chart, excuse me. Do you see these orange triangles here? I get an alert when RSI crosses over 15 on ES, over 70, and below 30 on the 15-minute time frame. I get an alert, and I have a perpetual alert saying, tell me every time it happens. Will I take a trade? Nope. And look, I already have my hourly overbought ready to go. I'm ready for an ES hourly overbought, another one to short. Create and set your alerts. And I will admit that I've been pretty lax with setting my alerts the last month or so. And I just made a conscious decision this morning. I'm back at it. I do better when I set alerts. So that's the value of TCG membership. All right, NASDAQ. So NASDAQ, this is a potential bear flag, and it's also on ES. Oh, ES, I didn't give you levels. 0.382. 0.382 is your bear flag resistance on 4-hour. And let me just say something. I really nailed the top $1 in ES yesterday, but did I trade it well or perfectly? No, I didn't. I made money. but it's nothing I'm going to print for Charting Man Dan's refrigerator. You know, I didn't trade it well. Even the most experienced traders have difficulty trading days like yesterday. Some of them nail it, but it's just tough trading conditions. So just because my technical analysis was on point, I don't want to get it twisted and tell you that I freaking killed everything yesterday and sliced and diced it. I didn't. It gets so chaotic with trying to keep up with the chat room and trade. I just didn't do my best trading yesterday. So I definitely want to follow that the humble brag comment with a reality comment. Back to ES, your resistance is 3833 and your support low of overnight 3766. Okay, resistance on NQ 11796 and support 11550. Now, if you want to set another alert, look how 4-hour RSI is starting to nuke price anytime it gets near, hourly. You see that? Nuke in price. So hourly 50 RSI is a very strong resistance right now on the indices. And I did this exercise this morning. If I turn on the RSI levels, so y'all hang with me here. If I turn on the RSI levels for daily, I'll use this 1689 right in here. That would mark potential daily oversold. We're looking for a weekly higher low. This was not a pivot high here. This was, we marked over the prior week's high, but we didn't pivot in that area. So I'm considering this all one downward move action, all upward here and all downward. Odds favor a weekly higher low due to the size of this bounce. So we have room for a weekly higher low compared to 1640. Okay, where do we look for weekly higher lows with 4-hour oversold? Well, heck, that already happened. Look at that. It already happened. It's happened a couple times actually. So I can't use that as my marker anymore, and I have to go to the higher time frame, the daily. So daily oversold would be around 1689, and that is where I am going to scout a weekly higher low on ES, NASDAQ, RTY, and Dow. I'm going to look for those weekly higher lows on daily oversold conditions, and on all four, they can get to daily oversold and still hold that weekly support. Now you tell me another pregame show that's doing that type of legwork for you, and I don't know what I'll do. But anyway, let's hide that. Let's give you your levels. 1783 resistance, 1753 support. VIX. I don't know, RJ, I don't use the RSI cloud. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but I don't use it. So if you can use it and it helps you, good. This is our megaphone, Sally. She's been up there all week calling out this megaphone. And I think I wrote on my notes, let me go copy it. Again, I'm pretty spicy this morning. I think I'm funny, but I probably need to get reeled in. So I'm still calling this daily megaphone still in play. Fight me if you don't agree, because we broke over it yesterday. But you're telling me that one little tiny candle body is going to negate this upward trend line? I don't think so. Now we know with trend lines, the more they get tested, they tend to break through, but that's not a breakthrough I'm looking for on VIX. So I've got two glimmers of hope. The hopium I'm dealing today, Bitcoin bounce was decent. We have enough room for 4-hour higher low. And VIX daily megaphone. So that's the hopium I'm dealing today, but that's the only hopium I'm dealing. Otherwise, your higher probability trade setups are going to be 15-minute overbought in daily downtrends. Shorting those are going to be your highest probability trade setup of the day. I also should say the third point of hopium I'm dealing is Dixie weakness. Oh, the one I just used, RJ, it's called RSI Levels by Abdomi, ABDOMI, and it'll give you a good estimate of where the 70 overbought is and the 30 oversold. Okay, VIX. It's really on the struggle bus up here is all I can say. Hang Seng's down 1.61 overnight. And US 10-year, no, that's not what I wanted to say. DAX is down 0.73. So we're not getting a lot of hope from our international markets overnight. Bitcoin, we talked about that weekly potential bear flag, and we talked about this 4-hour bounce up to 0.618. I only have 4 minutes left, and I've got like 15 charts. So I'm going to pick up the speed here. So Bitcoin had a great bounce. We have enough room for a 4-hour higher low. We have a weekly double bottom, but am I stepping in here buying all this crap? No, I'm just not. 15-minute overbought marked a tiny temporary top, but these bulls are hanging in there pretty good. So maybe first 30-minute overbought over here would be the next short attempt on Bitcoin if we get there. Ethereum, the bounce is not as developed. We're up to about 50%. So that means on the next pullback, we have enough room for a 4-hour higher low compared to 122. Oh, 15-minute got overbought here. Let's see what the bears can do. It got overbought twice. So again, that's some hopium for the indices is what we're doing over in crypto land. Gold is bouncing on dollar weakness. And let me, again, I'm spicy this morning, so bear with me. So every morning I do the commodities rundown. I started around 4 a.m. this morning on the rundown, and I go over dollar, gold, oil, nat gas, copper, and silver. And here was my final endpoint. No clear edge present, in my opinion, to trade commodities today with these type of geopolitical headlines hitting the dollar overnight. It's the choppiest, messiest price action I've ever seen since I started covering commodities. Price action could be cast in a Real Housewives of Metal reality show. It is messy. Y'all know I love giving you commodities and oil and nat gas trade setups. I love giving them to you, but they are a mess. So keep yourself safe out there, because I think that we have potential for more choppy price action with these headlines. So gold odds favor a 4-hour lower high to 1696. But if the dollar keeps rolling over, they could go take out that 1696 and change that 4-hour trend. Oil, this is not a pattern. It's just some trend lines that are working right now on oil. We talked about this long over here at 81.73. That was a trade set up for us Monday. We talked about this short. That was a trade set up for us yesterday, and I hope you got that top fish. But where we are now, I'm looking for a 4-hour lower high compared to 86.68, but I just don't see a trade set up here for me. If you can trade it, more power to you. Nat gas, we talked about this top fish. We were right here yesterday, and I drew out the potential bear flag we had on the daily, and I showed you these 4-hour higher highs without follow through, and I said this is indicative of a bear flag on a higher time frame. I would look to top fish the next 15-minute bounce. And we were talking right in here, and it didn't even give us a bounce to short, and then it went down. So I hope somebody made money on that one. Apple, it's messy right now, but I promise you it means something. I was looking at this trend line earlier. Typically, we like to connect the same color candles, reds or greens. But in this case, I still think it's a valid trend line area. We're just coming into this confluence of 8 and 21 EMA and 50 MA. We peaked above the prior day high, and we just couldn't get the follow through thanks to Jerome. We have enough room for a daily higher low. And we have bounced to the 0.618. So that tells me we have plenty of room for a higher low on the daily. So where are my Apple notes? What was I looking at? Bulls having that's all I wrote. So I would look for a bottom fish and maybe closer to 150. If we were to break this low of 152.22, if we bounce up into this area, yesterday's price action, again, be careful. It was a really big candle. We could have an inside bar day and get mixed signals left and right. Amazon. Okay, Amazon, it may take daily oversold conditions to reach that weekly higher low. So I'm considering this candle that broke above these two candles that broke above part of this down move because we didn't pivot. We have enough room for a weekly higher low. And I was just Oh, why did I draw that? Oh, we have a gap down here to 111.18. I'm not saying we're going to make it down there. I just like making note of them. Your next support is 114.53. We're approaching, well, daily RSI is 35, 4 hours oversold. We may be getting close to a bounce for that weekly higher low on Amazon. We'll just have to see. It will require the market to get an hourly trend change, and then bears will still be scouting a 4-hour lower high. And you're like, darn it, right when I was getting bull hope. Nvidia. I told y'all I could summarize these setups. 6 out of the 8 of them are reverse backburner trade setups. We're up here inside yesterday's range, which is bullish. And Dixie had a good point this morning. She was saying that semiconductors are stronger than some of the other sectors. And I tell y'all every day, semiconductors are the fuel to the market engine. So if semiconductors aren't going to roll over, bears are going to have a hard time taking out that 37.23 on ES. So Nvidia, I'd look for a 15-minute overbought conditions to potentially short. Otherwise, I think this is just a tough long and a tough short. Because you're looking for a lower high compared to the high of yesterday. It's just, again, tough. It's just a tough long. Tesla, watching for, you guessed it. Did anybody take this 4-hour rising wedge yesterday? That played out really well. Your next support, 29560. We have enough room for a daily higher low compared to that level. 29780 is your next support. I'm just looking for 15-minute overbought conditions to short Tesla. I don't have a good trade set up otherwise in Tesla or Nvidia are much less clear to me. Okay, CMG, we're looking for this weekly higher low. So I went looking for names that can disconnect themselves from the market, and we know that CMG can and XLE names can. So that's how I arrived at these names. So we're looking for a weekly higher low. We're in a weekly uptrend. So 4-hour oversold, we're getting there. As long as we remain above what's the weekly level? 1552? Yeah, 1552. So I'm looking for 4-hour oversold here. Let me go set my alert. Tell me when. RSI crosses 30. And that could be a good area to scout a weekly higher low on CMG. Oxy, potential daily double bottom. We could bottom fish this. Now, let me tell you, this looks ugly, but oil is bouncing a little bit and the market, so it could help this trade setup. We have a low of 62.32 and 62.43. So we broke it by 11 cents yesterday, and then we held. We do have a gap down here at 60.60 to be aware of. We are below the daily 50 EMA and the EMAs, but I think it makes sense to bottom fish this daily double bottom, yesterday's low, 62.32, looking for that weekly higher low. You see that? We're right here at the weekly 21 EMA. So I like Oxy long. I really have some odd setups today. I don't know what led me to these exactly. First 15-minute overbought. So I would look for first 15-minute overbought on Roblox for a short. Tell me when the 15-minute time frame gets overbought. Okay, shop, 4-hour channel. Again, I'm not a major trend line girl, but this is clearly, you can look at it on the daily. This is clearly pinched in this channel. And we have multiple holds down here in the 29.50 area. In my notes, I put bulls and bears are ready to throw down in this $30 range. I mean, you could just tell they are battling here. And if I had to, on a lower time frame, I think it looks better on the 2-hour. This could be a little falling wedge. We're getting lower lows without follow through. So I like a bottom fish of yesterday's low for shop. And then finally, XBEV. First 15-minute overbought. This is Black Dirt breakdown. So it's at the all-time low. So the first 15-minute overbought, I think, look at that little head and shoulders and RSI. Aren't you cute? Y'all see it? So I am looking for first 15-minute overbought conditions on XBEV for a short. Okay. Awesome. Thanks, Chris. Algo or. So when y'all type stuff like that, I have to be I have to just assume that that's what it is. I know there's an Algo USD, but there's no Algo RAND. I'm going to do Algo USD, and then hopefully that'll help you with what you're trying to do. Daily, beautiful bull break. Weekly, we're at a double top, 383938. Well, we broke it, 3873, but we need more convincing move over that. Hourly potential bull flag looks good. All right. Good morning. We don't have a trial membership, but you can become a member for just a month and just check us out. It's just 1 month fee. You're not obligated to stay past that. And I get up that early because I do this. So I go to bed earlier. I like to go to bed by 8 p.m. and get up on the average around 3 a.m. So not that bad. All right. Thank y'all for joining me. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notify button, then go give me a follow on Twitter at CharkAlLori. TCGers, I'll have these notes to you in a jiffy. Y'all use stop losses.